What if everything you know is just a construct of your mind? Well, congratulations! You've just stumbled into the rabbit hole of films that love to mess with your perception of reality.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
Come take a ride with me as we'll dive into the cinematic world where up is down, left is right, and nothing is as it seems. Because who needs a stable sense of reality anyway?
You suck, you jackass.
Kicking things off at number 10 is the early 90s Tim Robbins mindfuck of a film, Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is essentially the cinematic equivalent of trying to assemble IKEA furniture without instructions. This 1990s psychological horror flick is a masterclass in making you doubt everything you know about life, death, and whether or not you should ever trust a chiropractor again. First off, let's talk about Jacob Singer, played by Tim Robbins, who seems to be having the worst post-Vietnam experience imaginable. Imagine waking up in a New York subway not knowing if you're late for work or if you're actually dead. Spoiler alert, it's a bit of both. The film throws you into a blender of hallucinations, flashbacks, and conspiracies that would make even the most seasoned conspiracy theorists throw in the towel and say, you know what? Maybe the moon landing was real. The film's real genius lies in its ability to make you question every single scene. Is Jacob being chased by demons, or is he just late on his rent? Are those faceless figures real, or is it just another day on the New York subway? The movie keeps you guessing, and by the end, you're not sure if you need a hug or a stiff drink. And of course, there's the iconic line that sums up the entire experience of this movie.
If you're frightened of dying and you're holding on, you'll see devils tearing your life away. But if you've made your peace, then the devils are really angels, freeing you from the earth. It's just a matter of how you look at it, that's all.
Pretty profound, right? Or is it just another reason to avoid palm readers at parties? In the end, Jacob's Ladder is the perfect movie to make you question reality because it doesn't just blur the lines between sanity and madness. It takes those lines, ties them into a pretzel, and laughs maniacally as you try to untangle them. So, if you're in the mood for a film that makes you question your own existence while simultaneously making you terrified of your own shadow, look no further than this gem. I'd say Donnie Darko is a movie I hate to love. It's a film that'll make you question reality more than a philosophy major on a mushroom binge. This mind-bending masterpiece follows a troubled hero, Donnie, as he navigates time travel, giant rabbits, and the impending apocalypse. You know, typical teenage stuff. Jake Gyllenhaal's Donnie is the perfect blend of angsty teen and reluctant messiah, stumbling through a world where reality is about as stable as a Jenga tower in an earthquake. This film throws more curveballs at you than a major league Japanese pitcher, leaving you wondering if you're watching a sci-fi thriller or just an elaborate PSA about the dangers of sleepwalking. Director Richard Kelly crafts a suburban nightmare that's part Catcher in the Rye and part Philip K. Dick fever dream. He manages to cram in everything from time travel to child pornography scandals, making your average high school experience look downright boring by comparison. And let's not forget Frank, the creepy bunny man who'd make the Easter Bunny wet himself in terror. Nothing says question your reality quite like a 6-foot rabbit prophesizing the end of the world. By the time the credits roll, you'll be questioning the nature of reality and whether you remembered to take your meds. Donnie Darko, it's the perfect film for when you want your brain to feel like it's been through a blender and served with a side of existential crisis. And now, for the feel-bad movie of adulthood, I guess. At number 8, we have a philosophy major's 3-day bender of a film, Dancer in the Dark. Lars von Trier, that Danish madman, serves up a heaping plate of existential crisis with a side of musical numbers because why the hell not? Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Bjork's performance in this film.
Holy shit!
This Icelandic pixie doesn't just act. Allow me to put on my pretentious movie critic hat. She transcends. She's like a fragile, wide-eyed alien trying to navigate the cruelty of the human world, and it's both mesmerizing and painful to watch. Her Selma's so pure and naive that you want to reach through the screen to give her a hug, or maybe a pair of glasses and a one-way ticket back to Czechoslovakia. The film's a masterclass in emotional manipulation, but not in your typical Hollywood swelling violins and sweeping camera moves way. No, Von Trier's too clever for that. He strips everything down, makes it raw, and then proceeds to rip your heart out with surgical precision. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, set to Bjork's otherworldly warbling. Just when you think you got a handle on things, musical number, because nothing says questioning reality like a bunch of factory workers breaking into song and dance while their coworker goes blind. It's so jarring, so beautifully absurd, you'll find yourself laughing through your tears. So if you're in the mood for a film that'll leave you emotionally devastated, questioning everything you thought you knew about musicals and possibly life itself, Dancer in the Dark is your ticket to a good time. Or possibly a therapy session. Kids have the never-ending story to traumatize them in childhood, and adults have Dancer in the Dark to traumatize them in adulthood. I think one of the more underrated time travel movies I've ever watched is Predestination, which comes in at number 7 on this list. So Predestination's a film that takes the concept of questioning reality and cranks it up to 11. This time traveler thriller is like a Rubik's Cube for your brain, and just when you think you solved it, you realize you've been holding it upside down the whole time. So let's dive into the plot, shall we? Ethan Hawke stars as a temporal agent on a mission to stop crimes before they happen. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. Enter Sarah Snook, whose performance as Jane John is so mind-bending that it makes you question if you ever really understood the concept of identity. She's a one-person existential crisis wrapped in a paradox, and she pulls it off with such finesse that you'll swear she's bending time herself. The Spierig brothers, those cheeky bastards, have crafted a narrative so tightly wound that if you pull on one thread, the whole thing could unravel faster than your New Year's resolution. I think the film's a masterclass in the predestination paradox, where every attempt to change the past only ensures its inevitability. It's like trying to stop yourself from eating that last slice of pizza only to realize you've already devoured the whole box.
You fat bastard.
And of course, the film's piece de resistance, the ultimate chicken or egg conundrum, where the protagonist is both the cause and effect of their own existence. It's a time loop that's so twisted, it makes Inception look like a straightforward rom-com. So if you're in the mood for a film that'll leave you questioning the very fabric of reality and possibly your own sanity, Predestination's your ticket to a mind-melting good time. This movie has a very high rewatchability, in my opinion. Marty Scorsese is one crafty bastard, and for such a masterful filmmaker, he has quite the resume of movies that deserve far more eyeballs. One such film is 2010's acid trip Shutter Island, which comes in at number 6 on this list. In Shutter Island, Scorsese serves up a psychological thriller so twisted it'll have you doubting your own sanity by the time the credits roll. So let's start with our boy Leo DiCaprio playing Teddy Daniels, a U.S. Marshal who contradicts the term stable. He's investigating a missing patient on an island full of nut jobs, but spoiler alert, he's the biggest nut job of them all. The film's literally like watching a masterclass in mindfuckery. Just when you think you've got it figured out, Scorsese pulls the rug from underneath you, leaving you flat on your ass, wondering what the hell just happened. One of the things I just love is that by the end, you'll be questioning everything, your sanity, your reality, and why the hell you didn't just watch a nice rom-com instead. But that's the beauty of Shutter Island. It's a cinematic equivalent of a psychological colonoscopy, uncomfortable as hell, but oddly satisfying when it's over. So if you're in the mood for a film that'll leave you more paranoid than a conspiracy theorist at a government convention, Shutter Island happens to be that film. Just don't blame me when you start seeing imaginary rats crawling up your walls. I think this film is an underrated gem, but it seems to have garnered more attention as of late. Check it out if you haven't already. At number 5, I have what I think is an unnecessarily divisive film, Vanilla Sky, or for that one friend who likes to make everything plural, Vanilla Skies. This is a movie that'll make you question reality more than trying to remember what you did last weekend. People really didn't quite know what to make of it when it first came out. Was it a sci-fi thriller, a romantic drama, or just Tom Cruise's latest attempt to confuse the hell out of us? The answer is yes to all of the above, and it's precisely the genre-bending chaos that makes it better now than ever. So let's dive into the plot. Tom Cruise plays David Ames, a wealthy playboy who has it all until he doesn't. Tale as old as time. After a car accident leaves him disfigured, his life spirals into a surreal nightmare where dreams and reality blur faster than your vision after one too many cocktails. It's a wild ride through the human psyche that leaves you questioning what's real and what's just a figment of David's imagination. Now, why is it better now? Well, in today's age of virtual realities and curated online personas, Vanilla Sky to me feels oddly prophetic. It's like Crow had a crystal ball and saw the rise of the metaverse where everyone lives in their own little dream world. The film's exploration of identity and reality hits harder now as we all navigate the blurred lines between our digital and real lives. And of course, I can't forget to mention the soundtrack, Crow's Secret Weapon. With tracks from Radiohead, Sigur Rós, and Bob Dylan, the music elevates the film's emotional depth, making the whole experience as haunting as it is beautiful. In the end, I think Vanilla Sky is Cameron Crowe's most underrated gem. It's a film that dares to ask the big questions about life, love, and the nature of reality while masterfully crafting a mystery thriller. So if you're in the mood for a movie that'll leave you pondering your own existence, give Vanilla Sky another watch. Just remember, keep your eyes open, literally and metaphorically.
Abre los ojos. O Open your eyes.
Blasting off to number 4, we've got Interstellar. Nolan's space epic doesn't just bend your mind, it ties it into a quantum knot and shoots it through a wormhole. From time dilation to 5-dimensional bookshelf communication, this film will have you questioning the nature of time and space and whether love really can transcend dimensions. So let's start with Mr. Texas, Matthew McConaughey playing Cooper, a farmer who somehow becomes humanity's last hope faster than you could say.
All right.
He's tasked with finding a new home for humanity because, surprise, surprise, we fucked up Earth beyond repair. This film really does throw more scientific concepts at you than a drunken Neil deGrasse Tyson. By the end, you'll be questioning whether gravity is a force or just love in disguise. It's both, apparently. And also, we have to discuss the mindfuck that is the ending. Cooper ends up behind his daughter's bookshelf communicating through gravity because why the hell not? It's like The Sixth Sense, but with more equations and less I see dead people. This movie's endured over the years because Nolan is incapable of telling a linear narrative. The movie's emotional core will rip you to shreds, especially if you're a dad to a girl. Guilty. Every time I've watched this movie, I've sat there wondering if time is linear and if I should have paid more attention in physics class. So if you're in the mood for a film that'll leave you more confused than a flat earther at a globe convention with several soaked tissues, I know what you're thinking. Stop it. Throw this movie on for the 20th or 100th time, like me. At number 3, we got the granddaddy of reality bending films, The Matrix. Seriously, how could I make this list and not include this particular film? This late 90s mindfuck asked the age-old question, what if our entire world is just a simulation run by machines? Shit, I ask myself this question daily and wonder why I have to spend so much damn time in traffic.
Oh, God damn it! I don't care if you're old, seize the gap!
Anyway, once you take the red pill and embark on this journey, what you have is one of the most rewatchable films in the industry's history. This mind-bending masterpiece follows our hero Neo as he discovers that his entire world is a computer simulation designed to keep humanity docile. At the same time, machines harvest their bodies for energy, because apparently the machines never heard of solar power. The Wachowskis serve up a heaping plate of existential crisis with a side of kung fu, leaving you wondering if that steak you're eating is really just a series of ones and zeros. It's like Plato's cave, but with more leather, guns, and sunglasses. From the iconic bullet time sequences to the green-tinted dystopian aesthetics, The Matrix is the movie equivalent of sex. By the time the credits roll, you'll be eyeing every black cat suspiciously and wondering if deja vu means that machines are changing something. But the real kicker, this movie came out in 1999 when our biggest concern was whether our computers would explode at midnight on New Year's Eve. Now in the age of social media and virtual reality, it feels more relevant than ever. Runner-up at number 2 is The Truman Show. Jim Carrey stars as the unwitting star of his own reality show, proving that reality TV was a dystopian nightmare long before the Kardashians. This film will make you paranoid that your entire life is just entertainment for some unseen audience. Watch the end of Men in Black. Next time you stub your toe, listen carefully for canned laughter. Peter Weir's masterpiece follows Truman Burbank, a man whose entire life is a TV show, but he's the only one who doesn't seem to know it. It's like The Matrix, but instead of machines, it's ratings-hungry TV executives pulling the strings. Jim Carrey, who at the time was the rubber-faced comedian, proves that he's more than just talking out of his ass in Ace Ventura. He delivered a performance so nuanced and heartbreaking that it's criminal he didn't get an Oscar nod. This, along with many other reasons, are why I think the Oscars are dumb and a Hollywood circle jerk, and I don't remotely care about them, but I'm in the industry and we have to talk about them. Still, this was a snub that stings. The film's genius lies in its ability to make you question every aspect of your own reality. Is that convenient product placement in your life, or are you just a sucker for marketing? Is your best friend really your friend, or is he being paid to stick around? And don't get me started on the weather. If it starts raining only on you, you might want to check for hidden cameras. Carrey's snub for this role is like finding out Santa isn't real, disappointing but not entirely surprising given Hollywood's track record. In the end, The Truman Show is the perfect film to make you question reality because it doesn't just break the fourth wall, it shatters it, rebuilds it, and then makes you wonder if the wall was ever there in the first place. And finally, at number 1, we again have another Jim Carrey movie, and one of my absolute favorite films from the early 2000s, The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This Charlie Kaufman masterpiece doesn't just question reality, it takes your memories, scrambles them like eggs, and serves them back to you on a platter of what the fuck just happened. It's a trippy exploration of love, loss, and the nature of identity that'll leave you wondering if erasing your ex from your memory is such a bad idea after all. This 2004 gem isn't just another sappy romance, it's a heartbreaking psychological roller coaster, leaving your brain feeling like it's been put through a blender. Imagine a world where you can erase your ex from your memory, because let's face it, who hasn't wanted to do that at some point? Joel Barry, played by Jim Carrey, finds out his girlfriend Clementine Valentine, played by Kate Winslet, has done just that, and in a fit of heartbreak, he decides to follow suit. But here's the twist. As the procedure erases his memories, Joel starts to regret it and tries to hold on to them. It's like trying to grasp a handful of sand. The more you squeeze, the more it slips away. The film's non-linear narrative is like a dream within a dream, making it hard to distinguish reality from memory. It's as if you're trapped in Joel's subconscious, reliving his relationship in reverse. The cinematography is breathtaking, with choppy, surreal scenes that make you feel like you're experiencing the eraser firsthand. It's disorienting, but in a good way, like the one time you woke up and couldn't remember where you put your keys, but on steroids. What really makes Eternal Sunshine stand out for me is its deep dive into human psychology. It asks the big questions. Is love worth the pain? Can we truly erase our past and start anew? The answer, much like life itself, is complicated. The film shows that memories, both good and bad, shape who we are. Erasing them is like erasing parts of ourselves, leaving us with a spotless mind that's more like a hollow shell. So if you're ready to have your mind blown and your emotions put through the ringer, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is the perfect movie to check out. It's a cinematic experience that will leave you questioning reality, love, and the value of memories. And if you're lucky, you might learn something about yourself in the process. But don't say I didn't warn you. This film is like a relationship. It will make you laugh, cry, and possibly regret ever watching it. But hey, that's what makes it so great. So there you have it, folks. 10 films guaranteed to make you question everything you thought you knew about reality. Just remember, if you start seeing glitches in the Matrix or suspect your life might be a TV show, it's probably time to lay off the mushrooms and get some fresh air. What do you guys think of these films? Are there any you'd add or remove from this list? Let me know in those comments. As always, the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone, but what do I know? I'm but a mere jackass. I'll try to do better next time. Catch you later, friends.
That talks too much. I'm just a jackass of all trades. Don't